Hey everybody, we're going to go over how to multiply some powers today using the product of powers law. If you start with the first slide, you can see that a power has a base raised to an exponent. It's a small expression like 2 to the third is called a power because the exponent 3 represents a number of times the base 2 is used as a factor. So in other words, 2 to the third right here is said 2 to the third. It's read 2 to the third, and that means 2 times 2 times 2 3 times. It is not 2 times 3, which makes 6. Many students in the past have had that problem where they take these two numbers and they multiply them. That's not how it reads. It reads 2 to the third. That means 2 is getting multiplied by itself 3 times. If we look down here at the next couple examples, 10 to the second, or 10 squared, is read 10 times 10. There are two factors of 10, and 10 times 10, as we know, makes 100. It is not 10 times 2, okay? 3 to the fourth, the next one down, read 3 to the fourth, is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 4 times. There are 4 threes here, and that makes 81. The last one, 4 to the 17th. I don't even want to begin to figure out what that number is in my head, but we would be able to write 4 to the 17th power, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, 17 times. You see that exponent 17 means write that factor of 4 17 different times. So it's very important that we recognize how to read powers, because in the next couple examples we're going to start using them to multiply them together. If we look at real life areas of math that have powers of 2, when we talk about powers of 2, we're talking about squares. So if I were to write anything raised up to the second power, that would be like x squared. It could be, as the previous example said, 10 to the second power, 10 squared, 10 times 10 making 100. We have squares all around us in the real world. When we talk about square footage of a house, or we look down at square footage when we put tiles in a floor, or when we put hardwood down, that's all measured in square footage. If we look at powers of 3, this is a cool example showing a volume of a watermelon that's grown in a box. Powers of 3 would look like x to the third power. And when we have something raised to the third power, we're talking about volume. We can talk about fish tanks. We can talk about the amount of water held in a tank, in a tub, in the back of a toilet. All kinds of things have volumes. Okay, so many different quantities in the real world are expressed with powers. Remember, power is a base raised to an exponent, and some of them can be even larger than that. So here's an example of looking at the distance from the Earth all the way to the sun. So at any given point, the distance from the Earth to the sun is a minimum of 91 million miles away. So if we take a look at how to write 91 million, we write 91 followed by 6 zeros, 1, 2, 3, comma, 4, 5, 6. That is a tremendous amount of mileage away from the Earth. When we talk about order of magnitude, the definition in order of magnitude is a power of 10 that is really close to this number. So when we talk about powers of 10, we're looking at 10 times 10 times 10, a certain number of times to express that number. And we haven't talked about scientific notation yet, but we are going to get there, where we're going to look at this being nearly 100 million. And if you think about 91 million as almost 100 million, now we can look at the power of 10. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros here. So this is very close to 10 to the 8th power. So the order of magnitude in this case would be 8. You don't need to know that today, but I'm just trying to express that there are numbers that are bigger than our standard numbers that have to be written in exponents. So 10 to the 8th is a number that exists, and what it means is 100 million. Now, let's take a look at how we multiply some of these together. So in certain circumstances, like games of chance, we would look at how do we multiply the two numbers together to develop a probability. So in this scenario, we have to schedule a random class. If you look over here, we're going to be either thinking about this class called timeline, or grammar, science, French class, history, Latin, geography, or math. So we think, how many classes are there? Well, if I counted correctly, I see 8 classes. And 8 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, remember that for now. 2 times 2 times 2. That's what 8 equals. If I look over here, there are 4 class periods that we could choose from randomly. So 4 is equal to 2 times 2. So if we think about this in terms of exponents, 2 to the third being 8 and 2 to the second being 4, these two numbers we can multiply together. We basically have to think about how many 2's do we see here and how many 2's will we see here to combine them. So it turns out that 2 to the third can be written 2 times 2 times 2. We write it out long form. And 2 to the second can be written 2 times 2. So you have to ask yourself, if we're trying to find the solution to this one, how many possible ways can we write this? Count up how many 2's you see. For me, I see 3 2's and 2 more 2's, so that makes 2 to the fifth. And if we think about what 2 to the fifth actually is, that's equal to 32. There are 32 different ways that we could come up with combinations to spin this spinner and randomly choose a period and a class. I mean, think about it. If I look at history, for example, and I only want to use history, there are 4 ways to make history fit. So this would have 4, and this piece would have 4, and this piece would have 4, and they all have 4 different ways. So if there's 8 different classes that have 4 different ways, 8 times 4 would make 32. So it's just a different way of thinking about it, a different way of writing it, using exponents instead. So 2 to the third times 2 to the second would make 2 to the fifth. Now, here's the hard part. Do you already see the pattern here? Can you see the law? It looks like if I have 3 2's and 2 2's to make 5 2's, that there's something that we can use in that information to apply it to the next one. So you may have seen this one in class already. We were talking about the number of germs in a sneeze. Well, it turns out researchers at the University of Bristol figured out that there's 100,000 germs in every sneeze. Well, 100,000, if we used what we learned in the order of magnitude, has 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that makes 10 to the fifth power. Okay, 10 to the fifth is listed right here. 10 to the fifth germs. So if there's 10 to the fifth germs, and there are 10 to the sixth sneezes, looks like I chose 1,000,000 people sneezing at one time, then that is 100,000 times 1,000,000. So instead of writing out what 100,000 times 1,000,000 is, we could simply take our principle. If there are 10 to the fifth germs, how many tens is that? Looks like 5 to me, right? If I were to write this out longhand, there would be 5 tens. But you shouldn't have to do that. We need a shortcut. We need a faster way of getting there. But 10 to the sixth is going to be 6 tens. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more tens. Well, holy cow. Instead of writing out all those tens, or instead of writing 100,000 times 1,000,000, I can simply just use the law here. What do you think we do with the 5 and the 6? You're right. We add them. We make this 10 to the 11th. So if you can see that this principle applies here, where 10 to the 5th times 10 to the 6th makes 10 to the 11th, and on the last example, 2 to the 3rd times 2 to the 2nd made 2 to the 5th, then I think you've discovered the law. And the law is, if we're multiplying 2 powers together, provided they have the exact same base, they can't have different bases, the bases need to be the same, then we add these exponents. So it turns out a to the 2nd times a to the 3rd, 2 a's and 3 more a's, would make a to the 2 plus 3. That's the important part right there, which makes a to the 5th. Okay? So the product of powers property, this is important, it's probably something you should write. When we multiply powers that have the same bases, we add the exponents. So here's one last example. 3 to the 2nd times 3 to the 7th would make 3 to the 2 plus 7, which makes 3 to the 9. Okay? So a to the m times a to the n equals a to the m plus n. We always add these exponents together. So let's go forward. I'm going to write it a different way. You might see it like this. X to the a times x to the b, not using a's and m's and n's, but x to the a times x to the b would be x to the a plus b. So you need to know we need to add these exponents together, okay? A plus b. So 4 practice problems for you to try. If you would like to hit pause now and attempt them, it'd be a good time to pause the video, and then we can come back and talk about the solutions. All right, so let's talk about the solutions. 5 to the third times 5 to the sixth looks like the same base, 5 and 5, so we write the same base, don't do anything else with that, and then raise that to the 9th power, 3 plus 6. In this one, we have x. X is our base. We don't change anything about the base. The base stays the same. 2 plus 3 plus 4 makes also 9. That's kind of cool. This one, 3, ooh, now this doesn't have an exponent, but I can basically insert one here by thinking about how many 3's do I have. I only have 1 3, so it'd be a good idea to write that 1 there. And when I multiply by 3 to the 5th, I have 1 3 and 5 more 3's, which makes the base 3 and the exponent 6. This one's 3 to the 6th. And last but not least, if you have a negative number, please keep it in parentheses. And again, what do I see here? I see 1 negative 2, but the author didn't do that ahead of time. You can. Do yourself a favor and write that 1 there, because when you see the 1 and then you see another 4 of them, 1 of them and 4 of them makes a total of 5 of them. So you did a good job today, okay? Please remember that the product of powers is the same base written to those 2 exponents added together, and they can apply for 3 terms, 4 terms, 5 terms, doesn't matter how many terms we have. If you have any questions, please reach out. And thank you very much for trying today.